a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. What are you talking about, Marie? Oh my God, look at you. Look, oh, sorry, people. Okay, this is my sister, Marie Guitard Belanger. She's got the giggles. She always does on camera. So what was happening here? She came here because she was looking down because she didn't think my feet touched the floor, which they do. Hers, however, don't, because she's got little digits for legs.
Yeah, but you just touch with your
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Touching is touching.
Don't touch me.
Don't you touch me.
Touch you,
Stop
touch
it.
me,
Be
touch
serious.
you.
Oh my God. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Now, be serious, Marie. We're doing an interview. Okay, Marie is the fifth of 12 children, and I'm the third. So that means there's somebody in between us birth-wise. I mean, obviously, she's not here. You're making room for Kitty. She's not coming over. So it's our sister, Kitty. I was just thinking about the dynamics of the family. Like you and Kitty, when you were young, were always together. I was alone, and Pauline and Larry were together, the two younger ones. And it just happened because if you think about, like, when I started grade 1, I was 7, so I missed the first year, right? We didn't have any kindergarten. So I was alone there. You guys were already over at the grammar. Come to Montreal, my first year, I'm at St. Mayfield with Larry. Part of the next year, then I go to Pidou's with you guys, and then Pauline starts school.
Was I at Pidou's when you came to Pidou's, or did I already leave?
No, you were there.
I was in grade 6.
You guys were there, because I didn't go over to Pidou's to Maclada till I was in grade 4.
Where would that put me now?
Doesn't matter. Anyway, it just doesn't matter.
I didn't. I gave up on Pidou's. I walked out.
Yeah, well, we all followed you apparently. So here, another thing I was thinking about is, like, you know how people for Mother's Day, they post like they miss their mothers and all this stuff, or on their birthdays, and the same with their father. We don't do that.
No.
With a good reason. Our parents had their favorites.
Which we were not.
Well, wait now. I was definitely not of either parent. But I think, like with our father, with our Marie's the only one of all of the people in the family would stand up to our father. And I think he had respect for that. However, that caused our mother not to like Marie because of that. Right? She would stab you in the back. When I say our, I don't mean mine, because, like, here's the thing. Marie's got a D at the end of her last name, Guitar. Marie's got a D. And I don't. I remember Mom saying to me one time that I'm already Guitar with a D, and anybody that doesn't have a D is not one of mine.
Well, according to our French grandmother, we weren't dads.
Yeah, but that was grandmother.
We were les enfants de Grito.
Yeah, that was our mère. But anyway, so and I posted, some of you may have not seen this one time I posted where I felt I was born in the wrong family. Now I believe I was given to the wrong family. There was 2 other of us that don't have the D.
Yeah, 3. Afraid it doesn't happen.
Yeah, 2 others. That's right, I said 2 others.
Did you? I thought meant 2. See, I better go back to bed. I gotta go to bed.
Don't believe her. She doesn't go. She gets up, like, we're early birds. We don't like getting up early, but it's just what it is. It's like if it's 5 o'clock, I jump out of bed. It's like, oh my God, the day's gone. It's so stupid. We're retired and retired. Even though I just want to get back to that, even though Marie and Kitty hung around together, Marie and I always had a good relationship. There's always no problem.
No.
We travel well together. You know, we might get testy when we're traveling, might get a little testy just because
we're iPads.
yeah. Just because we get overtired or stressed, a little bit stressed, but basically we get along really well, and we're very upfront and honest with each other, which is really wonderful.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about some of the things. Oh, first of all, Marie's married.
Would you like a cherry?
I lost my cherry a long time ago. Marie's married, is a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. What makes you so great?
Because I'm that good?
I don't think so. Hello. She's had a few interesting jobs over her years. And she had a farm for a while, right? You raised pigs.
I returned.
What's with the stop with the giggling? This is a serious thing. People
Sorry.
need to get to know you. It's important. So
Okay,
basically
sorry.
you raised pigs on your farm, didn't you?
You're missing a light up there in here. See it?
Marie,
Yes.
Marie? There's a camera, see that?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
So easily distracted.
So what happened to you?
I had a fan up there and
Oh.
it didn't have a support underneath and I had it on too hard and so it fell down. So I had my
Okay.
a guy come in. Well,
I
I'm not
heard
finished
enough.
the story. No, I'm not finished the story.
So I gotta
had
listen to it now?
I had him come down and take it off. So over there in front of the fireplace is my new light. I was gonna spend money, get a nice fancy light for the living room ceiling. I thought, heck with that, I'm not spending money on that.
Yeah, because you're going to sell this and then give it away to somebody else.
I'm not giving it away to anybody, but I definitely want to sell it.
That'll go with it.
Hmm?
That will go with it. So if you're going to put a big.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so spend for $50.
There you go. Good for us.
Anyway, so getting back to Marie.
Oh,
So also she, this is interesting because you started as a groomer at Air Canada
no, first I was working in the airport as a cleaner.
and in the airport itself.
Yeah, one guy came and asked me, Marie, come work for me. Oh, why? Because you're a good worker. Okay, fine. So I took that job.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Then Anne had an interview. At the time we were friends, and she had an interview with this woman to do grooming on the aircraft. She says, "Are you coming?" I said, "Yeah, come for an interview." So I got the job.
Why not though? You're a good cleaner. We're good workers in our place. That's who we are.
That was the key.
Then eventually she became a cabin mechanic. Now, you know how those seats are so close up together now? It's their fault.
I worked with some friggin' awesome people, some good guys, really good. Well, a couple of good women because there wasn't many of us, but really.
And then there's the guys that don't like women working what they
we had-
consider men's jobs.
Oh no, that's all
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's just,
You put to them.
well, it's the nature of some men.
Yes.
They're not all like that, obviously, because you said you work with some really good people, you know,
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
them are men. But anyway, we've traveled together, her and I. We've been to China a couple of times. Indonesia, that was so cool, right?
Yeah, they were good to us.
Next plan, Thailand.
Thailand.
Now, the reason why we go to Asia is because people there, some of them anyway, tend to have smaller feet. You know how shoes used to be,
4. Sample was
I
a
don't
4.
remember 4. I don't remember that.
4 and a
Well,
half.
she remembers because her husband used to work at a shoe store. But 5 was the sample size, and we could always
And I'm older.
much older. That's why she has great grandchildren. So 5 no longer exists. No, it's 6.
What happened to us people?
We're like it's so hard, you know, to find shoes that are small enough. And people say this all the time, buy kids' shoes. You don't know, they don't have the same type of support. And I was talking to a guy, he has a business called Foot Solutions, and he was saying that, first of all, they're not even made with the same hard material,
right.
the wear and tear.
And then you gotta take off all the fangle dangles of the kids' shoes.
Oh, no, why? I like the fangle dangles.
No, I'm taking mine. I took mine off.
Fangle dangles is Marie's word for like glitter, fluorescent laces or whatever. She has her own language. Now, here's another thing in our family. Some of them I consider like French, some are part French, some are a little bit French, and some are English. Marie's definitely French. She's the only one with this accent. Nobody else in the family has this accent.
Well, that's the truth, eh?
It is.
That's true.
The closest to you would have been Bunny at one
Yeah.
time. That's our oldest brother, Bunny. He's now 91.
Yes.
Most fabulous brother.
The chair's got a squeak, you know that?
Yeah, chairs are speaking. Marie was also the family, well, kind of still is, I suppose, the family protector. Like, don't you dare pick on the younger one. She would tackle anybody, get scared afterwards, right? But she would basically tackle anybody who hurt any ones that would go after us. Now, as tough as Marie is,
I'm not sure.
there's this other side where
Don't.
a needle. When we were kids, you know, you'd go get your shots for whatever, you have to have booster shots, and we would go, probably you would take us, right? At that point, you would take one.
Frida, were all the girls and all the young ones plus Larry.
Plus Larry.
Yeah.
our younger brother. So Marie she was already had a short arm before there was even a needle going near her, so she would never get that shot.
I walk out of line.
You were, and you know, you think of it though, you were pretty lucky that you didn't get
Never
whatever
got
we were
sick.
getting the shots for, right?
Yeah, I don't have no vaccination scar neither.
Well, Pauline has one on her leg, I know that.
Never took. So that means I didn't have to have
Oh,
anything.
yeah, yeah,
So I figured,
you're immune to everything.
that's right.
It's pretty cool, right? But it's pretty interesting, you know, how people are. Here's this, and a lot of people who are like tough people, when males, whatever, are afraid of needles.
Yeah.
That's not something that's uncommon, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
yeah. A lot of people scared me. It's like, yeah, really.
Yeah. Then she used to do this. Okay, we had to read bad parents, abusive bad parents. So we used to plot.
Yeah.
No, it's too late now, you know.
Yes.
She used to plot how to get rid of our father. You never followed through with it, you know, did you?
Did I?
Well, I'm asking you. Maurice, listen, he's
It's not,
dead.
it's not confession time, Nancy. It's not confession.
Confession good for the
Only
soul.
thing I ever wanted was his gold tooth. I should have took it. He promised that.
Well, he was alive. You should have taken it then.
Well, I could have took it in his coffin. I mean, he told me I could have it. I should have went and just took a hammer. And
Hammered it out by that
Yeah.
time. Who cares, really? You know, there's this expression, you shouldn't talk ill of the dead. And I'm thinking, why not? They're not here. Like if somebody's talked bad about me when I'm dead and gone, what do I care? I'm dead.
Yeah. Well, we talked about him when he was alive too.
Well, that's true. But not to his face.
So
At least not me.
I don't see the difference.
No, I don't see the difference either, you know. So like, I know people, a lot of people are sentimental about their parents. And I think it's great that you have good parents. And I think if you are a good parent,
Well, so
that's awesome. Really is awesome.
that's what made us good parents.
Yeah, yeah, because not everybody, we all know not everybody has that. Some had worse than we did, obviously, you know.
Yes.
That's just the nature of the world. And anyway, so Marie and I and our sister Kitty like to get together and have some fun with our videos, and because it's just we like to entertain. We've always been able to get together and laugh.
Yes.
No matter, like right now, we're worried about a number of family members.
Oh,
I think there's 7 on the list with health issues.
yeah.
But at least in my mind, there's 7. And we know these things, you know, we know the environment is a concern. We know all of that. We're aware of it, and we do our best to not damage anymore or whatever, but we still always laugh because I think laughter
But
is
I
what-
think they know we're coming. Party's on.
absolutely they love it when we come. For some reason, people don't come out this way because it's like, it's too far.
What's up with that?
I don't know. You think it's the same distance from here to Montreal as it is from Montreal to here?
So maybe we go on strike.
Oh,
We don't do
okay.
it.
Oh, okay. We recently invited to something that we're not going to, but not because we're going on strike. It's just because it's in Montreal and we just recently got back from a trip to Montreal and New Brunswick. So it's like financially, you know,
So that-
unless somebody drops some money in my lap,
Can I me too, please?
nothing happened, which is normal.
Well, because we don't got laps.
Oh, that's true too. You know, when you have short legs, it's really tough, isn't it? We don't have much of shoulders either because
Oh, yeah,
when you,
there's that.
or heels. I don't have a heel. Like, you know, when people, I mean, I have a heel, but you know, people wear shoes that are just like the slip-ons.
Oh, I can't.
They always slip off because I don't have
Yeah.
much of a heel.
Or the slingbacks.
Slingbacks I can, but I keep putting tighter,
Yeah.
tighter, right?
Yeah.
And you have to adjust to whatever it is. And buying clothes, even petites, you're still hemming. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know who petites are for, but they're not for the short
But if you
people.
go to China, go to upstairs and the textiles
Oh, gosh.
made to measure.
Oh, that was so great, you know. I love getting clothes made to measure. It's like, and what that time is affordable now. A lot of it has changed, unfortunately, like everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Prices are just out of line.
Yeah.
Stop squeaking. You know, it's only that chair that squeaks.
I need some oil, please.
Got oil Marie's butt. I think Jamie got the other 2 chairs. I had 4, and I think
If you had chairs that we could touch the floor.
I am touching the floor, Marie.
I'm not,
I
stop.
am so.
I see you swinging your feet, Nancy.
Well, that's only when I hold them up like this. But you see, my legs have to bring all my laptop, whatever, like that. We're off the topic. So
Was there a doctor?
let's talk about some of the jobs you've had over from the first time you started working.
Oh, the first time was
Was it Simon Cigar? No, before that.
Dominion Lock.
Oh, but I worked there too.
Yeah. They had cut my smock to fit me.
Big surprise.
I was called Little Mary. Oh yeah, and I fell in the barrel head first. And they had to dig me out.
But she always got, for some reason, she always got a job on factory, when we're talking about factory work, on a machine.
Big machines.
Yeah, and had no problem handling the machines, But it's kind of interesting too, because when thinking about that, like when I worked for at Canadian Tire a million years ago, our boss had us do these aptitude tests.
Yes.
And mine geared toward the mechanical.
Yes.
So that runs in our family.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's kind
I
of
think
interesting.
with Dad, we got a lot.
I'm not
He was
sure
a
if it's-
carpenter,
that's not mechanical. He was carpenter.
but he could fix. He was not a very bright man. Well, maybe.
We only had grade 4 education and
Dad had grade 3.
okay,
Mom had grade 10.
10. Yes, I knew about mom having grade
So
10.
she was the smart one, but she wasn't mechanically inclined.
No,
Dad
she was very
had-
crafty though.
Oh, yeah. She was smart, very
Yeah.
lady. I mean, she knew a lot of answers to a lot of science,
Had a lot of
geography, history.
yeah,
She had a brain up there, didn't know how to use it most of the time,
yeah.
which was made us afraid to use ours for a long time.
There was no encouragement. I had no
Yeah.
encouragement to go to school, to continue going to school after grade 8. That was the
Yeah.
deal. You did grade 8, you get out, you went to work.
That's right. You reached
Right.
16, go to work.
Yeah,
Pay your
yeah,
room and board. That
Yeah.
was the key.
right.
But Dad could fix.
I didn't know. I mean, I know he was a carpenter. I know he did that. By the way, hey, I'm no good at carpentry. I can measure 10 times and still cut something too short or too long.
Kind of the same, but I could take apart.
Yeah.
I like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
When I was with my first Jerry, she knows him, and with Bill, I was the one who did better at assembling something than they
Yeah.
were. You look at them working and you think, they did go about it in such a backward.
paint the house.
Oh no, don't ask me to paint.
Oh, I paint. Before Roger can paint, I would tell him, get out, you're too slow.
I'm not good at painting.
I just painted it backwards. I
For-
paint.
Yeah, I know. For me, everything that's in the way gets painted. And I just want to get it done. Like in my mind, when I start, it's gonna go well,
Okay,
right?
yes,
So after a couple of those, I'm using the roller, after a couple of times, it's like, now I want to finish,
yeah,
but I've got a whole room to do.
yeah.
So
Kitty
get-
still paints, Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty's good too, yeah.
paints,
And we
yeah.
all I was saying were, because, as you get arthritis and stuff, it changes and we're all knitters and crocheters and sewers. Yeah, we all did those things. And that was, my mother was really, really good at those things. And my mother never did anything with the pattern.
No.
I remember I used to, for knitting, I was taught by the nuns in school to knit.
Oh, crow.
Yeah, and crochet and sew. It was always by the nuns. But I remember one time trying to, I got faster knitting because I would try to keep up to mom as she was knitting, right?
She was a champion.
She was really, really, really good,
I learned to knit when I was working in Mirabel for Aero Services. But these bunch of women were bloomers. And in between flights, they were, teach me. That's all. That's it.
Okay.
Took off.
Right. I'm sure there were classes at school for her, but she probably was looking out the window.
Classes. Not in crochet. Oh, we learned how to make a skirt.
They were ugly.
There were 2 sewing machines, the pedal one and the newer one. So the lineup for the newer one, like, oh God, I don't have the patience. So I went on the pedal one. And they failed me. The nun failed me because I didn't go to the modern one. So that's how I learned to sew.
Mhm.
Bugger off.
Yeah. Was it in grade 7? Because I remember grade 7 is when we
Yes.
graduated, before we went to, I guess they called it middle school. Well, we called it high school, grade 8.
Yeah, it was, yes.
These awful, awful skirts. They were really like kind of shapeless, but then again, they were the nuns teaching us. So
I rather sports. I rather recess.
you were really good. You played
I'm good at recess.
basketball.
Yes.
But you played basketball in school, right? You
That
were
was
really
the biggest joke ever.
but you were good.
Well, we had a game one time against the college. And they're like, compared to, you know, so I see these big, tall, lanky girls, and you're gonna stop. So I just chose to go between their legs, and oh my God, it was like an uproar. Well, we paid against Beaconsfield, and these little girls were nasty, nasty.
Yeah.
And back then with the nuns, you weren't allowed. So I said to the nun, I'm gonna hit her. She says, no hitting. I said, she pinches me, I'm going to hit her. Girl come at me and I just whammed her off the floor. They let me finish the year.
But it's difficult. One year I played ballon ballet at
Yeah.
Broomball.
We were small, very,
Yeah, we were very small. But the team, again, they were so, all these really big girls.
Yeah.
Not only tall, but
we were fast.
oh yeah, yeah. But I wasn't good at ballon ballet.
I was good at anything, the guys, football, baseball, hockey.
Baseball, I was good.
Hockey got kicked off for high sticking.
Oh my God, Marie. Anyway, let's get back to some of the jobs you've done.
That's it. Yeah.
No, that's not
Oh,
it.
that's
That's not it.
I took a job wherever I get a, Marie, we got a job for you. Okay, fine.
Right.
I did in-store focus, where you go in the store and get people to taste your stuff.
Yeah.
Who were living on the farm, and money is money as far as I was concerned. So the lady says to me, she says, when you got to get this always signed by the producer in the back, whoever that guy in charge is. I said, yeah, no problem, whatever. I don't care, whatever. Tell me what I got to do. They give you all the supplies, but they would also reward you.
Okay.
And that's the key for me.
Right.
If you dangle that carrot and I liked it, I'm going to go and get it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So one time we had to do this thing called pizza pronto. You take a slice of bread, you put this stuff on it, you shove it in, you cut it up in little cores, shove it in this like toaster oven thing, and get people to eat, taste it, and then buy the jar. So I forget how many jars I had. So the guy says to me, they're at Metro in Montreal, don't worry if there's some left. He said they have an agreement, they will take it back. So I said, that's a challenge in my head. I will leave you 2 bottles on the shelf. The guy thought because back then you were small, you had long black hair, you're kind of on the cute side because you're so petite, you know, all this crazy stuff. So use it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did. And I left them 2 jars on the shelf, so they have to sign.
Right.
This other time, Nancy, I go to this not Metro, I forget what the other grocery store back there was called.
Probably go.
Something like that. Anyways, so I go and the guy puts me in to where the meat is sold. And it's cold back there. He said, look, I said, yeah, I'm dressed. I know this. This woman comes in, madder than hell, because she's also got stuff that people try, and it's fish.
Okay.
So he apologized. It was really, really nice, this man. He apologizes and he says, can I put you? I said, at the front door. He goes, at the front door. And yes, he goes, oh, he caught on. Put me at the front door, you're going to taste pizza pronto, you're not going to go in that fish. Wiped her off the
Pretty cool.
Then I sold trailers with Alain down in Place Ville Marie.
Right.
What else I do? Anything.
A bunch of things, yeah. And
Yeah,
jobs
just
were,
ask me.
when we were young, jobs were so easy to get, right?
Worked at Supreme Precision.
Right. We both worked at Simon Cigars, which is a factory that made cigars. Obviously, and once again, Marie was on the machine. Kitty and I, we patched the cigars, and Kitty, you know, if you did, it was piecework. The more you did,
Yes.
Kitty was really good at it. For some reason, I would pick up a piece, you know, you got to match the color, right? And to me, it looks like the color, and I put it on and it doesn't match. Like, I'm no good at putting colors
Well, that's
together.
where we met Laura. Laura Smith.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's Simon Cigar.
Laura Smith, we're talking about you.
Simon Cigars.
Right, yeah, I don't remember her there, but I just remember Loretta, I think it was Loretta. Is that from there?
Loretta was friends with more like Maddie and me.
Oh, okay, so on somebody else then, I
Credit,
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, on credit,
Yeah.
okay. That's the street we lived on. We lived in Montreal, in New Brunswick until 1956. And then we moved to Montreal. And life changed so drastically. Oh my God.
Apartments, we didn't know what they were.
We lived in a house. It was not a great house, but it was a house, you know, in the middle of a field. When you think of it,
Tree field.
it was so cold. Oh my God. Because there was no insulation. In the winter time, I remember the boys would go out, pack snow around the house
That's right.
to help insulate, right?
Yeah.
We were
back in the-
upstairs. There was 1 bedroom
Yes.
upstairs,
4 beds.
4 beds. 4 beds.
Us, mom and dad,
Mhm.
Kitty, and the crib.
Oh, right. Oh, right, right. I remember that. I just remember the bed, and I remember that there was this old mattress. They had like these slats, metal slats, and there was a hole in the mattress. And I remember, like you had, if you were younger, you got in the center. They put you in the center. The older ones wanted to be the outside. So I'm in the center, and I wet the bed, by the way. So one time I'm dreaming I'm on the toilet, but I'm sinking in the toilet, and I wake up and I'm going through the hole in the bed. And I found out I remember one time I'm in the crib. I don't know why. Oh, mom would let me sleep in the crib when I was sick. And I was sick a lot, so it worked out well. And it was getting too close to Christmas time, and you and I don't know if it was Kitty, who else we're talking about Santa Claus. And I remember you're whispering, not you personally, but you guys are whispering, say, "Oh, shh, can't let Nancy know there's no Santa Claus." And I'm laying there and I'm thinking, I already know there's no Santa Claus. You know, we know stuff. We know. That's another thing. We know stuff. I think a lot of people like that without knowing how you know stuff. It's very, at least in our family, it was very common to just know stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you want to tell, we don't always respond.
How'd you take a bicycle apart? We just know how to take it apart.
Absolutely. It's like, for me, it's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Pieces fit together, and you gotta, you know, I'm especially good if I can see a photo, a picture of what the item is, then I can really work well.
See, I don't like that part. I can know.
Yeah.
Don't show me.
Right.
I will show you.
Well, with a puzzle, I don't like to see the picture, but if it's something I've never seen before.
It's almost like a schematic. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But without all the little details, because that part is fun. Never.
So everything is a puzzle.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I say.
We worked at a toy store together. Marie was there first, and I went there to replace somebody. I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks. I ended up being there for 5 years.
Yeah.
But in January, the boss would go, or whatever you went, you would go to over to China, whatever, to the toy fairs.
Yeah.
And then the new toys would come in, which was so exciting, right? But the bicycles, the little kids' bikes, and that would come in apart because they're boxed up.
Yeah.
And then we get to put them together.
It was easy.
That was fun.
How do you know that? We just know that. We just know how.
Yeah.
I think I fixed more guys' bikes on Crevier.
Crevier, we lived in Ville-Saint-Laurent, by the way, when we first moved to Montreal, and Crevier was the street that we lived on.
The poor families.
Yeah.
District.
But you know, we went back there a couple of years ago, and those apartments are still in really good shape, right?
For that time.
Yeah, because that was like, you think 56 to now, that's a long time. So they were well built. They were heated with oil.
Yeah,
right.
True.
I remember there was a fire in our apartment one time. We went out. I guess the family was out, but the oil in the kitchen stove was turned on. The oil, you know how you have to turn it on and whatever happened, mom or whatever went to light it, and we all went down, sat in the car outside the apartment.
We had to wash the kitchen down.
Oh, so you were maybe married by then?
Could be. What year was that? I got married in 64.
Yeah, I don't know what year. I know we were living in the upstairs apartment. So, you know, originally we lived in the basement apartment, and then the second year there was a flash flood in probably in August, I think it was, and water's coming in, you know, right? It was up to the couch. My sister Alfreda sleeping on the couch at that time. Myself and my younger brother Larry found the old trunk, and we put Pauline in the trunk. We put our bathing suits on and pushed our sister all around, but she got impetigo and had to have her hair cut off, and she was starting school that year. So she had to go to school with a little pad, right? You know,
it was hard.
But it was just like, again, when you look back, it just is what it is. It was, you know, somebody
bothered us.
No, we had fun in that flood. And I remember somebody saying, "Oh my God, there's a baby drowning." It was a doll floating down the street. It was just really interesting things.
I think my first impression when we came to Montreal, we were in a panel body. There's Mr. and Mrs. Laguerre,
right?
Mom and Dad, and about 7 of us kids are
in the back with the furniture.
Yes. And then we left Hamilton in the summertime. We arrived at Montreal, and there's all these lights.
Oh my God, yes.
We thought it was Christmas.
We got in at nighttime. Yeah.
Actually thought it was Christmas with all these lights on. We just lost it, man.
Never seen things like that. Prior to that, we'd never heard of pizza or Chinese food or barbecue chicken. Those are things that didn't exist.
We never saw a Black person. We never saw a Chinese person.
Yeah. Yeah.
We really were like backward people.
Well, if you think about where we were from, like Hamilton was such a small town. It's no more than 10,000 population with the outskirts.
Yeah.
That includes the outskirts. So there's not a lot of, like who would be there other than maybe fishermen.
What
or-
mother was smart enough up in her head to be crazy enough
Yeah,
to drag all these kids 500 miles?
that's a long.
And the worry, the stress,
Absolutely, setting up in a new place, in a new apartment, and
teaching us,
yeah.
where do you live? I don't know, one of these places, wrong door.
Do you know that Pauline and Larry were the first ones to walk around the block?
No,
They were the youngest and the first ones to, and I was the first one. I have to take ownership of this, to make a friend, Randall Marion.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there was these first that we, kind of look like.
Yes.
Feels good to be able to be the first one to do that. We're all over the place, by the way. I'm sorry about that, but that's who we are. The road does not go like this.
Not ours.
The road goes.
It's a little rough. I think
It's all part of the fun, though.
we never kept the track.
We talk on the phone. I think I posted this one time too. We talked on the phone, and we often talk on the phone, and we always end up, as we're hanging up, laughing. That's the way we hang up the phone.
Something goes crazy.
Change the topic for a second. Somebody posted online, like, what do you remember of your grandmother?
Which one?
No, they didn't say which one, but I was wondering, gonna ask you. Our mother's parents were Mama and Papa. That's what we call them.
Yeah.
Our father's parents, well, we didn't know our grandfather. He died before we were born, but it was Mamere and her
Pepere.
second husband, Pepere Young.
Yeah.
Okay. But did we ever go inside Mama's house?
Yes.
Because I only remember being outside.
Mom, I never went in my mayor's house. We weren't
allowed.
welcome.
Right.
We were allowed to stand at the door.
Okay.
Middle of the winter down there.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
cold.
come in, but we had some terrific aunties on our mother's side.
Right.
They also had dozens of children. Open that door, get in here, get warmed up before you go to your next shop
Yeah.
home. Not the French
It's
one.
interesting. It's interesting the difference, eh?
My mayor always called us greatest children. We
Right.
never belonged to dad.
Right.
So mom was a virgin in the making.
No, our father's father was English. His name was Lawrence. Lawrence Guitard.
Yeah.
I say right? I have to do that. Some people say, "What's with the duh?"
Going to school, none didn't know how to pronounce the word guitar. We were called the Guitards, so I never stood up. I would never answer to that. So she would say, "You Guitard." Look around, look at Kitty. She must be talking to you. Sure, she's not talking to me. She one day I said, "My name is Guitar."
Yeah.
You're going to correct me? Yeah, my name is Guitar. Either you say it, or I sit in my seat and stay there. She never did say it. I never did get up.
But it's interesting how people pronounce the name. Like I think I told you, somebody even corrected when
Yeah.
I introduced myself, Nancy Guitar. Somebody said, "Oh, she means guitar."
Who plays a musical guitar?
Well, English people probably. Sorry, people.
I don't know if they would say guitar like that. Would they say
Not
guitar?
the way the nun did. If you think about Guy, the name in French, in English it's Guy, in French it's Guy, and that's how we would pronounce guitar, like we're saying Guy, and that's the difference right there, right? So anyway, we're running out of time probably. So
Long time ago.
well, we didn't get.
Well,
any
can you
more.
imagine what the names would be like? I don't mind Belanger,
No.
or up here we're called Bellangers. I gotta say this, my daughter, I gotta put it in. I think it's her name is Manon Guiret.
Right.
So her and I were at the store one day and we're waiting for her name to be called. I can't remember for what. So they're called Man and Guerin. So we're sitting there like two idiots. Man and Guerin. This lady says that. So, Manon, could that be you? Man and Guerin? Manon, yeah, because you're so used to that French way of saying things that up here it's English.
Yeah. It's like when I first found out, believe it or not, people, when I first found out my first name was Marie, I was in my 40s because I didn't know I had that name. And when you go to that, now you have to list yourself when anytime it's a government information, whatever, you have to list your full name, whatever. So first I'm at the doctors, or I think can't remember, maybe in the hospital, and they're calling Marie, and I'm sitting there, and I thought, I didn't know you were here, you know, I'm looking to see if you were there, and it just dawned on me. So I finally had to go up and ask, are you calling for Marie Guitar? You know?
We used to go to the doctor together, me, Frida.
Oh,
Were you with us that time? And the ladies goes, listen, tell me who you are. I
yes,
have no clue who's Marie here.
yes, oh my God, we used to have so much fun.
She's Marie, oh, she died, you know. But Frida's not Marie, Frida's Mary.
Mary,
Really.
yeah, yeah,
So there you go.
yeah, for sure, yeah. I resent the Catholic Church for doing that to us, by the way. They had no right to do that, as far as I'm
I
concerned.
know in BC, they just don't understand.
Well, I moved to Ontario before BC, it's the same thing.
Oh, and Ontario, I thought Ontario was a lot like Quebec and New Brunswick.
No,
So it's from Quebec down.
it's from Quebec now, yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, the names change, you know, when you get to Ontario, it's like all these English names. You
Yes.
don't hear very many French names. So
Yes,
it's like,
yes, yes.
It's like a bit of a shocker in a way. And then you come here, and here you hear a lot of indigenous names, which
Yes.
is another difference, you know, it's like, oh, we didn't know about these names. I mean, even though we had an auntie who was First Nations, we didn't
We
know about
loved
it, right? Oh, I know, she was so
We
special.
loved her and her sisters.
I don't remember the sisters. Well, I remember Mary
Jane.
Jean,
Mary
Mary
Jane.
Jean. I remember Mary
And
Jean.
Nancy.
I don't remember.
And brother Roger.
I don't remember them.
And
either.
Mr. Dede. I loved Mr. Dede. He was an awesome dad person.
Right. No, and I know we're friends with the Dam in Hamilton, and I
Oh,
love to know if
yes.
we're related, but he didn't know.
No, he doesn't seem to be said. Eddie
Yeah,
Dede. Yeah.
Yeah, but it can't be that common a name, I would think.
I know.
Would just be interesting,
It's
but
like
anyway.
guitar. But now there's a lot of guitars.
Now, yeah, well, I guess the guitars know how to multiply. Anyway, we're gonna end it there, folks. So you've been listening to both of us talking. This is my this is my older, I can't say big sister. This is my older sister whose feet don't touch the floor when she's sitting on the chair.
Why can't you say big?
Because you're not bigger than me. She
I see
denies
taller than you.
her husband,
There.
both her husband and her
He's a
son
traitor.
and
Traitors.
her son told her that I
Traitors.
was taller, but she refuses to acknowledge it.
Now look at
But
us.
you do have a longer body than
There
I
you
do,
go.
but much shorter legs or little digits. So
Thanks for giving me the taller body.
so my big sister, little digit Marie.
Time to say goodbye, Nancy.
Okay, goodbye, Nancy.
Goodbye, Nancy.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and peace out.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.